What's up, everybody? Welcome to Day Trade with Zay. I'm Isaac, and today this is the trade breakdown for Thursday, January 27th. Today was a really stagnant day. Not stagnant, but a up and down day. Got blue, got red, got blue again, got red again, then got blue again, and and when I say that, I mean went from being in profit, then losing profit, going into the red, and then gaining some more profit back. And it was just I think I overtraded a bit, but I trusted what I thought was going to happen just from what the market was telling me. And, eventually we're able to catch a trade that was, able to take us back into blue, and then catch another trade that was able to take us back, into, a decent day after what had happened. So let me just go ahead and give you some insight. Price has basically been playing in this range all week. We've caught in some trades here, right? We've seen that it broke under the weekly support level. This was a weekly support level for some time now. You could check the earlier videos about me talking about that for Monday and Tuesday. But we're able to catch some sells here. 159 pips here, 122 pips here. Let me see, what did we catch here? 129 pips here. So we've been able to have some, decent days this week, just like the rest of the month. But I had noticed, when I woke up, that price had kind of broken down to the downside. But I thought there was a slight, push, there's a higher high, lower low, right? Since it's lower than this low, broke directly below it. Came back up, lower high, lower than this high, lower low, lower than this low. So I seen that break, but I also seen this lower high created, right? And one thing that I noticed this morning was that price had actually broken this lower high. So I thought there was a chance that price could come down to this level, at open, push down, and, then make its way up to the upside. But one thing I did notice was obviously the distance between where it was at to, here's 312 pips. And although it's possible with how volatile this market is, it took, a good amount of time for it to do that. And I wasn't expecting for it to just fall off completely. But I thought, let me actually go ahead and go with what it is, which is we're in a consolidation market. Price is pushing up to the upside right here where we've seen multiple taps, right? Tap here, tap here. When I say tap, respect shown, right? Used it as resistance here, right? Boom. I actually took this trade based off of this tap right here. Then we seen it again later on in the day. I wasn't on the charts at this time, but multiple taps at this level. Then it used it as support. So I knew this level was very strong. And not only that, it's the bottom of the weekly support level, which it's now was used as support before, for the past few months, and now it's using it as resistance the past couple days. So my thought process was it's possible for it to push up here, but I didn't think it would just because I know what the week holds, and I know that there was news yesterday and today. So knowing that, I was looking for a sell opportunity. I didn't want to put any buys up here in this area, specifically because we know that it's been rejected and respected a few times. So my main thing was to look for some sells in this area, which we already know it's at the 62%. This level's been strong for us all week. And yeah, so let me show you exactly what happened while I was waiting. So this is about 6:15, right? So one thing that I did notice was at this level right here. Let me actually pause this. I labeled out the institutional breaker candle right here. And what a breaker candle is, I talked about it in the live stream. A breaker candle is we have this higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? But this low, once it's broken, it's now called a breaker candle, right? This candle right here is called a breaker candle. And you could see price respect this breaker candle a lot on many occasions, right? It's not the best confirmation to use, but when it's at the 61%, which if we take a look here, where is it at? Just about the 61%. 62 is right here. We could say 60, 61 is right here. So I had my eye on that, and I noticed what price was doing right here. at this level was, I even called it out at this point right here, is left shoulder, head, and then, right shoulder coming up. It's something that I noticed before it happened. Not to say I'm like a pro or anything, but something that I noticed that happened right here was left shoulder, head, and I even said if it comes back up and retest this, maybe we could go ahead and enter the trade. So this is just before, is this open? Yeah, so 624. So let's go ahead and see. 625, 626, 627, 628. Let me make sure. 628, 629, 630, right? So we've seen price do this here, rejected off the 50 EMA. I didn't want to jump in so quick right here because I knew price could jump off of this 50 EMA. So I knew this, I was mindful of it. So I waited to enter the trade. I believe I entered the trade right here after this candle finished. Or maybe right before it finished, I entered the trade. And this is where I actually took my first position. Price shot up, stopped me out. I was eventually stopped out right here for 23 pips. I think I lost $46 on this move. Then what did price do? Came directly back down. I entered the trade again. Let's see where. I entered the trade as it was falling down. It didn't obviously go that quick when it fell down, but I did enter another position right here. I actually entered multiple positions right here as I was confident that, price would push down at least, I was thinking at least to these levels here. So I entered the trade. I seen that price broke below. I love that it kept, pushing down to the downside. But one thing I noticed, I usually have 3 charts up, the 5-minute, the 15, and the 1-minute. I noticed that price was respecting the 5-minute 50 EMA. I pulled half of my position at 54 pips. Not half, I pulled like a quarter of my position at 54 pips, and I had the other half riding. As you could see here, price essentially touched the 5-minute EMA, right? Well, kind of, but rejected it, pushed up to the upside. I had obviously moved my stops to break even, and I ended up with, I believe, like $110, $109 or something like that, and then was eventually stopped out again. So I was going to end the day there, and my goal was to end the day there. We were on the charts a little bit more. I was on the live stream a little bit longer as this went through. And one thing that I noticed was as price got up into the IOC area, it was showing a lot of respect right here. A whole lot of respect. And you could see it play out with the respect that was shown. So me, seeing this, I specifically seen that rejection. Seen this come down, see it come out. I wanted to wait for price to come down here and push down to the downside. It did. I entered the trade, I think on this candle right here, I entered. And I took a loss. It broke back through, stopped me out, and I had actually entered more positions. Thinking that price would reject this area and come back down, but price flew back up and I lost a good amount of money right here. Just because I had entered too many positions and wasn't really thinking about the stop loss, and I took a 50 pip stop loss on, way too big of a position. So I took my loss, took it like a champ actually, because I was really pissed. But I thought price was going to break up to the upside, break through this level right here, but it didn't. And I noticed that again, that it wasn't breaking up to the upside. I knew I wasn't going to put any buys in. At this point, unfortunately, I think I really was revenge trading. I was really stuck in my ways. Like, I know the market has to do this, but, I say it all the time, the market doesn't have to do anything. So, but seeing this, I knew that price was, something was happening here where price just wasn't breaking through to the upside, right? You could see it gets pulled down every time up here. So I entered my trade right after this candle happened. I seen this double tweezer top right here. I seen all these rejections right here, and what is it on? It's on the weekly support level. So now that it's been using it as resistance, right, just like how it had in the past, that's why I entered this position, put stop loss just above these wicks, and I actually caught a few positions, which you could go ahead and see on the live stream. I'm sorry, not on the live stream, on the Instagram page. They were smaller positions than I liked, but I knew I didn't want to put in big positions again because of what had happened right here. So entered in a few .01s. I think I had a .05 in there total. And I did have a .05. I had like a .01 up here, here, here. Like they were pretty spread out, but I'll tell you exactly why I entered more positions. But price broke down. I already had this position in. After price rejected this area, I got in again. I think right here. As soon as it got in, I added another position. I think I added two, one here and one here. Because I knew that there was a good chance that now that this ILC is being respected, what is it forming? Kind of like another head and shoulders, right? But a little bit more clear and a little bit more strong with the volume behind it, right? You can see this is multiple minutes being built here. So I seen that, and I knew that price could come down still, and it did. It broke through, added more positions on the way down, and I eventually caught at this biggest position here, at this top position, 157 pips. I closed out almost every position at my smallest position was like $70. So I was able to go ahead and close these. But one thing that I noticed again was that 5 minute, no, not the 5 minute, was it the 15 minute? Yeah, the 15 minute was being respected, right? So I knew that that was possible. I also knew that this area was a strong resistance to support level, right? You could see it here, support, 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 resistance, 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 support, support, support. So you can see that. That's why I like to keep these levels out, because they do warn me and let me know, okay, zoom out a bit. And once I zoom out, I can see exactly what the level is. And that's why I pulled my positions after I seen that rejection. And this was able to actually put me back in the blue with this trade right here by a few dollars, which was great, right? And eventually I seen price respect this. I stepped away from the charts for a bit. But one thing that I noticed is it did respect this level again, right? You could see the respects being shown. Price isn't breaking through here. So what did I do? I entered a buy. I was confident in the buy. I seen that price wasn't breaking this little area right here. I had this drawn out actually on my MT4. Didn't draw it out here, but I did put a line here on my MT4 because what do you see as well? Maybe a little head and shoulders, right? So this formation is actually becoming a little bit more popular for me. I'm starting to see it a lot more, a little bit more clearly, and you know, just taking what the market gives you. But I knew that there was a good chance because of, you know, what this was forming here, right? Right off of this key area, engulfing candle, came back. We got the double tweezer bottom, double tweezer bottom. So I seen this on my MT4, came over to the charts. I seen that there was a chance it could come down, so I kept the stop loss actually relatively tight. I knew if it broke below this candle here, then there was a good chance that it was coming down. So what was it? It was about 25 pips. And where did I enter? There's an engulf. Yeah, this one right here. This is what made me really take the trade. This rejection again. I seen this rejection, and once I seen that off of this area again, that's when I knew I had to enter the trade. I entered a little bit bigger position on this. Entered the position. Was a little scared because I knew it could reject this 1 minute 50 EMA, but did it. It barely went even into you know, negative and pushed up to the upside. I seen this IOC right here, and I knew there was a chance it could just come down and push down again. So I believe, yeah, once I seen the rejections happening right here, this is when I pulled my trade. It probably was a little bit like right here. I pulled my trade, and this was able to take me over there for, like $400 for the day, basically. And yeah, I stopped there, and good thing I did, because eventually price came back down, and I got away from the charts. I'd say one thing that I did do today, it worked for me today, but most of the time you don't get lucky like that. I don't recommend over trading. What is this? I mean, it's the same trade, but it's one position, two positions, three positions, four positions, five positions, six positions that I took. And you never want to do that, because my limit is 3 trades for the day. I try to stick to that. 3 trades to the day, whether I'm profitable, not profitable, breaking even. It's what I try to stick to. And I went over it by quite a bit. And like I said, it worked out for me today, but I don't recommend people doing that in the future. I don't even think I will be doing that in the future, because I know I did get lucky for the most part. I was just able to see the charts a little bit better here and went with my bias, but sometimes it doesn't happen. You put this trade in right here and price breaks through to the upside. You put this trade in right here and price breaks down to the downside. And instead of, being like, dang, I made all my money back, or right here, let's say, fuck, I'm down, $400 right here, 380 or whatever right here. You lose this trade right here, this is gonna be, I use smaller lot sizes, but if I lose this trade right here, it's another $32 that can hurt. And sometimes it doesn't hurt monetarily if it's just $32, but what it does hurt is, on the ego, on the trading ego. So, I mean, you can't let losses get to you. You can't be revenge trading. So it's something that I'm gonna have to notate in the journal. But it's something that we'll learn from, and just take it with us. Tomorrow I'm gonna really try to stick to the plan, not trade more than 3 positions, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know this video was a little bit longer, but I think there is a lot of game here. You could see how I utilize these areas, how even though I over traded, I trusted my bias. I took the trade where it needed to be taken. If I would have just waited through all this bullshit, right, and then took the trade here, it would have been a lot smarter decision. Or took it here and then taking it again right here, it would have been a lot smarter decision. But it is what it is. You learn from it, and you could actually see price eventually did come down to where I wanted it to come down to, which is always funny, right? Because you think about that, you're like, damn, 300 pips, and it did do it, right? It just did it in a lot longer time than I would have expected. But let me just show you how it played out and what I'm looking for tomorrow. I somewhat believe that the market could come down a little bit more. I do think so, but the one thing that has me a little iffy about it is that it keeps respecting these levels right here, right? It's been staying in this range for some time now. Let me show you here. Look at this, is Monday. Oh no, yeah. This is Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, today, tomorrow. I feel like, I don't think the market's gonna close in this range, for the week. I have a good feeling that it's either gonna break up to the upside or break down to the downside. And price eventually came down to this area. Where I would have put some buys in. I would have got stopped out if I would have, though, because I probably would have had a tight stop loss. But it pushed up, and now it's sitting in this area right here, still consolidating, just waiting for what it's gonna do. And if I had to bet my money, I'd say it's gonna go up, just because we can see the support levels being respected so much, right? And price is still. There's still this break right here, right, that I think happened. This little break right here. This break of structure happening right here, I think could lead up to the upside. You can see we're on the 15 minutes, respecting the 50-minute EMA. Probably see it playing here and push up overnight. If not, hopefully U.S. session gives us excuse me, New York session gives us an entry, and we could possibly hop in something like this. Right, 91 pips is pretty big. Let's say 74, even though I probably wouldn't take that trade. We could see some massive gains potentially, right? I think it's possible we could see a break to the downside, but I kind of going based off of the S&P 500. Let's just go to the day chart. You can see right here on the day chart, it looks like it's coming down, but it's also respecting this level still, right? I know it broke it, but it wicked out of it pretty gnarly. And I think it's possible. We see it come down, but I think it's also very possible it comes back up before it rejects down to the downside. But we'll see, because, you know, you just give what you take what the market gives you. So, you know, cryptocurrencies are up, but I just heard that they're getting regulated. So we might actually see price on these fall down a little bit more, and then, you know, we buy more. But we'll see. But we're approaching 20 or 21 minutes on this video. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you. Again, what I took from this, don't overtrade. You won't get as lucky as I did today. And I'm sure I won't get as lucky as I did today. But thank you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe to the page. I'm doing this every day, live stream, every day at 6:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, just in time for New York Open. And then we do the trade breakdown here in the evening, so I could tell you exactly why I took my trade, even though I do that in the live stream as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow, 6:15 a.m. Thank you.